Good morning, if it is the morning. Wanted to make today's video on key levels. Okay, get on my level. Actually, I'm pretty tired. It's an actual Friday morning. We have about it's 9:18, so we got, what's that, 12 minutes to the bell. I'm gonna show you guys how to make my levels. Okay. So please, don't be shy. Ha! Come on in. Okay. We're going to make levels on all of these tickers. We'll do 4 today. That was I'm trying to book a campsite. Okay, so this is what I do, all right? 100s, key levels. Bam. And then I start. QQQ always. Okay, what am I looking for? Looking for a few things. All right. Basically, I want to see where pre-market high is, right here. Pre-market low, which is right here. And then I'm looking at yesterday's low of day down here and yesterday's high of day. Now, we do have this level way up here, but it's unrealistic. So I'm going to be using this supply zone here. Okay. Now, I did already make these levels because I forgot I was going to make this video. So I'm just going to pull them up. Okay. So I believe I did actually, excuse me, I did choose this level here, this 327.48, because we could spike up into this zone and reject. So, and by the way, the levels, the way to trade them is to either play puts and supply, calls and demand, right? That's one option. Or you wait for break in base and that supply flipping to demand. So what I typically do is I will play them as supply and demand first, and then if they break that level, I will play it as a break in base. So that'll look like either this, reject, or it'll look like this, and up. One of these. Okay? That's essentially what I'm looking for. Nothing too complicated. All right. And I do keep in mind this volume shelf as well, this line, the volume point of control. That is something that I do look at also while I'm making these levels here. But we'll continue on. So I chose this level here, top of the supply. Okay. And then I also chose this level here, this 325.20. And that's good for me. Next, let's move on to, let's do NVIDIA. I didn't actually do NVIDIA yet. So we've got this supply that it's testing right here. So I'm going to use the next one up out of this channel as well. So we're kind of looking at yesterday a lot. You want to look at yesterday and go, okay, range is good for the next day's levels, because you know if you retest that range, you're either going to reject again or you're going to break out and get a huge move. Look at this move to the downside over here. So we could actually do that today, but to the upside, potentially. So for NVIDIA, I would say this is a good level, this 182.30, and this one right here, this 180.5. Okay, that would be my 2 levels for NVIDIA this morning. We can check later at the end of the day and see how that would do. Okay, let's do one on Apple, another example. Okay. Apple, since it's kind of rejecting already from this zone, I would be comfortable using this 169.80. The VPOC is way down here, so this would be my bottom area. I really like demand when it's set up like this. When the 2 scripts align, that's excellent confluence. We have demand here, and then you also have your VPOC right there as well, your red line. So in that scenario, when the red line is at the bottom of demand, that's very strong. And when it's at the top of supply, that's also very strong. Okay, so I will take this into account. And today, if price action dips down to 168.57, I'll take a long position. It's just that easy. And if it breaks out of this, I'll wait for it to come back down, retest, and then I'll take a long position. Okay. Looking sort of bullish this morning, to be honest with you. Microsoft, I did today as well. Looking almost like head and shoulder-ish a little bit. But let's take a look. We'll zoom in here. Okay, volume point of control is way down here, so we don't really need to look at it too much. I'd be looking at this 289.20 right here, all right? And just keep this level in mind. But I'd be looking mostly at this, I think. Especially the way Microsoft opens is kind of slow. But as far as downside, I'd be waiting for actually this level, this 287.57, just because of these wicks right here are showing a bit of a more, you know, powerful level. It could not break back above that. So now the fact that it is back above that, well, now they're going to be buying there. It's going to flip to demand, and we can expect some buying. So 287.57. I think is good. And I think when price comes down here, if it does, this volume point of control will slide up. That's just what I'm guessing. Obviously, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's do AMD really quick. AMD's easy, okay? Volume point of control. And my previous levels right here, and it's around $100, psychological. So you can do $100, or you can do 99.89 or whatever. It's more or less the same. As far as downside, I'll be looking at yesterday's low, not the pre-market low, because we didn't really gap at all. So I'd be looking at $98. So that's easy, $198. And you can use your previous levels because you'll find that they actually do line up a lot of the time. Let's look at Amazon. Okay, this is the morning here. Once again for this one, I'd be looking at a break of where this was ranging yesterday, 142.27. And then as far as downside, I might actually use the pre-market low here. This guy, 141.30. That looks pretty good because you do have this gap, and then you have room down to the volume right here. So I'd be using that pre-market low level. And look left. Look, it's also where these wicks were forming, where it was kind of ranging. So that makes a lot of sense. That 141.3 should work very well for us. You can do another example. You can do Tesla if you want. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to jump off here in a second, though, because I got to start streaming. You guys are waiting to take some trades. Here I am hanging out with you guys in a different dimension, in a different time. Tesla's an interesting one. I might actually, because this is so gap filly here, we did break above it. I might actually use a psychological. I might go 870.05 or 870.30, something like that. And then as far as downside, I'd be looking at probably pre-market low right here, this 864.53. The supply and demand on Tesla, the script isn't reading that nicely on Tesla, so this one is a bit tricky today. And then we'll do one more. We'll do Meta. Okay, Meta. I'd be looking at these highs here. I believe it should reject here at the open, 180.45. And then as far as downside, you could honestly wait until either... This one's tricky too, because this level is obviously the best, 177.23. So I'd probably say stick with that. There's too many levels in here. Once again, there's another example of the script messing up, which does happen frequently, but you need to know which levels you can trust and which ones you can't trust. It is making... all these demand zones might be valid, but we're looking for those bigger moves. And if you snap this, there's a long way down. All the way down to 171.50. So that's the move we want to capture, not the tiny little scalps, right? When we're making the watch list levels, anyways. All right, guys, it's as simple as that. That's all I have for you this morning. Nice short Sunday video. That's how I make my morning levels. It's pretty easy. And then how I trade them: calls in demand, puts in supply. If it breaks, you wait for a break in base to trade calls in demand, puts in supply again, but in the opposite direction. And then if both those don't work, you need to rewatch this video and change how you're doing your levels. All right? Adapt, thrive, make money. Have a great Sunday, guys, and hopefully this helps you out for Monday. Okay? Take care. Comb your hair. I didn't. This is never getting combed, okay? 100 out.